Hello dear subscribers, welcome to our channel. We hope that you like our videos. If you have suggestions and ideas for videos, please leave them in the comments below the video. And right now, watch our new video, in which we will show you the beauty of the Pamirs. To see them, you have to drive along the famous Pamir path. This road is not an easy one and not every driver is able to drive here. But this exhausting road is rewarded with unforgettable impressions of the great Pamir Mountains. As you know, the word Pamir translates as the roof of the world. But let's start in order. First, I would like to briefly tell you about the origin of the road, which has been named the Pamir Tract. The Pamir Tract is a highway that connects the city of Osh in the south of Kyrgyzstan and Khorog, the main city of the Gorno-Badakhshan autonomous district of Tajikistan. The length of this road is more than 1,200 kilometers. There is also a term in history, Old Pamir Road. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries in Central Asia, there was a sharp geopolitical rivalry between the British Empire and Tsarist Russia. At that time, Central Asia was one of the few white spots on the colonial political map of the world. This relatively peaceful confrontation between the two empires has gone down in history as the Great Game, about which many books and articles have been written. The military power of the Russian Empire was troubled by the British, who were actively exploring the Pamirs. Because of this, Russia decided to build a military road of strategic importance, which could quickly move troops from the Fergana Valley to the Alai and effectively supply the army. This construction was carried out secretly, and for some time no one in Turkestan or Europe knew about the construction of the road through the Alai Mountains. In 1937, the construction of the road connecting the cities of Osh and Khorog was completed and the Old Pamir Tract became part of the Great Pamir Tract. If we talk about Pamir, Pamir is a regional and an international brand of Tajikistan. Tourists from all over the world are interested in the unusual mountain nature of the Pamir, the life and traditions of the people living here. However, few people know what is unique about these places and the Pamirs themselves. The fame of the region and the interest in the Pamirs was brought by the Russian cosmologist Fedorov, who claimed that the Pamirs were as sacred and sacral land as Jerusalem for the Christians. According to the hypothesis of other Russian geologists and planetologists, the center of the universe before the Bible flood wasn't on a line the Arctic and Arctic, but on a line Pamir, the roof of the world. Easter Island, the center of the earth. Accordingly, poles were also located. They assumed that change of the geographical poles for all history of the earth occurred not less than 171 times, and last of the happened 10-12,000 years BC, that corresponds just to Bible flood. According to geologist Koshemasov, two lines of inner block folds of the Earth's crust lineaments cross the Pamirs at right angles. The Pamir cross divides the eastern hemisphere into four sectors. Two of them are lowered, Eurasian and Indian Ocean, and two are elevated, African, Mediterranean and Asian. It is a phenomenon of the Earth's structure. According to the sources, that is the mechanism of the formation of human races. In the 19th century, Professor Max Muller of Oxford University, based on a study of free language, came to the conclusion that the Aryan people began their migration from the Pamirs in the 2nd millennium BC. Some of them went west to Europe, while others went to India and Iran. Based on the study of various texts, the German scientist, author of multi-volume works on the geography of Asia, Karl Ritter, even hypothesized that the Pamir was the home not only of the Aryan branch of peoples but also of all mankind. The same opinion was held by the English traveler Henry Hoole. According to Hoole, it is in the Pamirs, according to some interpretations, is the cradle of the human race, about which Moses and the Aryan legends tell. The famous Russian Orientalist scientist Steblen Kamensky spent half a year in Vakhan, where he studied the language, went with the villagers to graze cattle, learned to brew kaoma plant drink, suggested the Iranam Vayeja. Aryan space, the legendary homeland of the Aryans, is located on the territory of Ishkashim district in Vakhan. There's also a legend why Alexander the Great didn't get to the Pamir. The Persian king of the Achaemenid dynasty and grandfather of Alexander the Great, Darius III, asked the conqueror to save the Pamir because the ashes of their ancestors were buried there. Alexander with his armies reached the Pamir and discovered the burial place at Shiva. Then he came to the conclusion that it was necessary to close the exit of the river from the gorge so that the mausoleum of the kings would remain under water for eternity. The rich history of the region and the diversity of the landscape provide the Pamirs with many historical and natural monuments. The ritual place of fire worship can be found at Lake Yeşilkul in the mouth of the Marjanay River near the village of Bulungkul. Another temple of fire can be seen 9 kilometers from the regional center of Khorog. There are solar calendars in the Shurali Valley and 80 kilometers from Ishkashim. In the village of Rang, 87 kilometers from Ishkashim, there is a Buddhist stupa. There are a lot of petroglyphs near the village of Lyangar, 120 kilometers from Ishkashim. History fans should visit the ruins of the Halbak fortress in southern Tajikistan in the village of Mehrabad. Destroyed by the Mongols, the rare remains of this fortified palace have been under excavation since 1951. And now the reconstruction of the walls of the complex with the minaret and battlements is complete. When viewed from the main road to the east, the fortress seems to rise as if from nowhere and is an impressive sight. It is not possible to enter the excavation, but a small museum across the street offers many interesting exhibits, including a large model of the fortress. Yamchan Fortress is a 12th century fort that is one of the most impressive among many other Pamir medieval structures, with numerous surviving walls and round watchtowers. Tajik National Park is located in eastern Tajikistan. It was founded in 1992 by a decree of the government of Tajikistan. This is the largest mountain park in the former Soviet Union, with a total area of 1.2 million hectares. Its length is about 2.6 million hectares, which is 18% of the total size of Tajikistan. In 2008, the national park was submitted to UNESCO to become a World Heritage Site, and in 2013 it received this status. The remoteness and inaccessibility of the Pamir don't hinder its popularity. In recent decades, it is one of the most popular mountaineering areas in the entire post-Soviet space. Hiking and trekking are not widespread here, and most of the routes require serious training. Therefore, it is even more interesting to watch videos of mountaineers who show viewers the preparation for the journey and peculiarities of climbing.